What's going on, family? It has been proven that pain is a part of life. That when you fall in love with somebody, you give them the permission to hurt you. It has also been proven that a lot of us, we never really get over it. We just move past it. It sometimes can trigger certain things, emotions for us to work on trying to move past, but a lot of times that never happens. And so what happens is that when certain things that happen in our life, we don't react to it because we have put ourselves at a place that we suffocate ourselves from reacting to the pain of life, the things that we suffer through, the things that we have to endure. It can be unfair most of the time, but it's just the way life is sometimes. The truth is, a lot of us have become so used to the pain that when certain things happen, it doesn't bother us. It doesn't have that effect that it should have on us. Because a lot of people have made themselves to become numb to things that should affect them. Because here's the issue. They feel like if it affects them, they're not going to be able to function in life. So if something bad happens, it doesn't trigger them the way that it should, because now I have mentally, subconsciously made myself to a place to where I'm not affected by anything that happens. It might trigger me, but you're not going to get a response from me. And this is what happens. And this is why for some people, it's so easy for them to move from one relationship to the next. It's so easy for them to do what they do to you and not even have an effect. It doesn't affect them the way that it should. It's because this is just where they're at in life. So the sad thing is, people get together, they fall in love, but because they have not dealt with their own issues in their life, being able to tap into the emotions of what you should feel versus what you feel, it puts you at a place to where anytime you're dealing with someone, you might have a feeling and saying, I love you, I want you, I need you, but I will not sacrifice my feelings for you. In other words, regardless of what happens between us, regardless of what transpires between us, I am not going to be affected by it because I'm not going to feel what you feel. It doesn't matter how wrong I do you. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter, what happens in our marriage or our relationship. They're just continually sweeping things under the rug instead of responding the way that they should respond, because pain is not the same to them. And them doing what they do to you, it's so easy for them to move to the next person because their identity of love is their happiness. You always hear people say, I have put myself last. I have done this for so many years. I have allowed myself to become so fickle and so, dependent on making sure that my spouse was happy or my boyfriend was happy and all these other things. But even in the midst of everything else that happens, you're still going and investing in somebody that is willing to give you not only what you need and want, but is willing to fight to the very end for what you all have. I get it. Some relationships have to be severed. Some marriages have to be severed. Some people have to walk away. But every time you turn around, they're never the issue. It's always who they was dealing with. It's always who they was married to. They never really look at themselves and take the time out to, look and say, you know what? Every time something happened between us, it was always about my feelings. It was never about how he felt. It was always about what I wasn't getting from the marriage or the relationship. But it wasn't about what he was not getting. Because believe it or not, it takes two. And if we go through life like this, we're going to wonder why in the world we're so miserable, even though we have the right partner. They love us. They're giving us everything that we want and need. They're there for us. And marriages and relationships go through ups and downs. But even through that, if you have to continue to suffocate yourself to not feeling the pain and dealing with the pain, then you're not ready for a true relationship or a marriage. regardless of how you look at it. So until then, deal with your issues and stop blaming everybody else for them.